I can never understand how some people are so multi-talented, while the others struggle to find even one thing that they're good at. Now, today's guest, Tim Steinruck, is an example of a person who is multi-talented.
People come from all walks of life, they all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Greetings, everybody. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Chilliwack, although a little chilly. But hey, it's not raining and it's not snowing, so we're all happy.
Yeah.
Speaking of happy, thank you, Tim, for joining me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here, Nancy.
You have such a list of accomplishments or things you're involved in. You're an instructor at the Nimbus School of Recording and Media.
Correct, I am.
So what do you do there as an instructor? What exactly are you teaching?
So I'm teaching mindset to, the upcoming producers and engineers and artists. I'm teaching mindset, and then I'm also introducing them to all the hierarchy within the music industry, all the way from like artist managers, all the way down to the stagehands and everything that goes on in between.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. I mean, that sounds awesome. Really does.
It's amazing. It's amazing. There's some very talented individuals on their way up.
Isn't it wonderful when you meet someone who's really talented and really into whatever it is they're doing?
Yes, absolutely. There's so many great young artists that I've met and some very, very accomplished already producers and engineers that are just breaking into the business. So there's a lot of hope in the music industry.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Now, you're also a certified professor at Integra, sorry.
That's right.
Protocol coach. So what is that about?
So Integra is a process for releasing negative emotional blocks. So I do a lot of life coaching also. That's just really what I do. Accelerated evolution, you saw probably there too as one of the places that I work at. So that's the process that I'm certified in. I'm a master coach in accelerated evolution. And again, that's just, getting rid of these emotional blocks that keep people from living their true purpose. So I started that process about 8 or 9 years ago. And now I'm serving not only kids at the school, but individual clients and helping people move their careers forward by getting rid of those things that are blocking them from having that.
Yeah, and we are the ones that block ourselves, right? I totally get that.
Absolutely. Yes, we're also the ones that we heal ourselves too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things that kind of drives me nuts a little bit is when people tell me they're too old to do something, and I'm thinking, no, maybe too afraid or too poor or whatever, but not too old. Anyway.
No, exactly. There's room for everybody in the music industry. I mean, myself, I've been at it for a long time. As you probably read in my story, I started this journey at age 13, and I'm still on the same journey that I was on there, since then. So, and it won't ever stop. As I say in the song Torch of Rock and Roll. I'm not sure if you had a chance to listen to that or see the video, but I'll never stop until I die. My ultimate way of going would be on stage and just, the heart just gives out on stage and that's it.
I don't want to die this way, only because I wouldn't have time to render and edit and air that particular interview. Other than that, it would be fine.
You stay with us for the interview at least,
Yeah, get it aired first, and then I can fall over. Now, another thing is you're a bassist, right?
I am, yeah. I play. I've got. So I think what you saw in my profile there is that I'm a bassist in a band called ShoCore,
right.
And ShoCore was a pretty big band in the late '90s, early 2000s. They had a song called Bone Cracker. And Bone Cracker was used by the I guess it was a WWF at that time. Now it's the WWE. But anyway, a lot of wrestlers used that song Bone Cracker. Right. So I joined up with them a couple years ago. My drummer, Bob, my friend and my partner in the Mighty One, is also was the drummer at the time in the band back in those days. And so now the band has sort of reformed and re-released itself. And so, yeah, I play bass in that. But I have a ZZ Top tribute band that
Oh,
I play bass in. Yeah. So, which is a real honor now because Dusty Hill's no longer with us. So to be able to play that role is a real honor.
Right. Is that explain the beard?
Well, I mean, the beard is, the beard goes to work, right? So
It looks marvelous, by the way. I love it.
the beard's working right. Actually, in a few hours, I'll be headed down to Burnaby Village here, and I'm Father Christmas there. I take on the role of Father Christmas. This is my 5th year doing that.
Oh, good for you. Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's just the most heartwarming situation that ever, right? I mean, I think last night we probably had at least 500 or 600 groups, like families, come through, and that'll be constant right through until Christmas.
You know, I think what a wonderful role for somebody who's so upbeat. It's perfect, right? I mean, I'd hate to see a Santa that has all got gloom and doom.
Oh, that would be horrible. That would be horrible. No, it's totally the right gig for me. It's a total extension of my heart, Nancy. It really is, because I love all human beings, big, small. I even some of that are not so easy to be with. I love them all. I'm in the human business. That's what I do. Nice
words. Okay, now tell me about Warrior Sage.
So Warrior Sage is the organization that has developed this accelerated evolution protocol. Okay. So these processes that we use, and my mentor Satyan Raja, who lives in Langley, was the one who developed this. And so his organization is called Warrior Sage. It's a worldwide organization that helps everybody from someone who's just going through a small problem to huge corporations, multi-billion-dollar corporations, and helping people through any kind of blocks that are stopping them from really expanding and developing their businesses.
Right. Now, I was just wondering, because of COVID and how it affects people, has there been more people that are wanting help in that area?
Yeah, there's a lot of emotional stress, obviously, that comes with COVID. And so, I mean, I've definitely been working with a lot of folks since that. I have a program called End Your Struggle Now, and that's like a 5-week process. And I just take you and get you out of struggle so that you can start to, get and start to build again,
I think I'm one of these few people that COVID opened a whole new world for me in a good way, like with Zoom.
Yeah, of course.
Because now I can interview people no matter where they are, and I just so love that, right?
Yeah, it's been the greatest gift for me also, for sure, Nancy. It really has. I mean, when I was teaching my classes online, when I was teaching at the school, that all went online. And obviously, a lot of my coaching stuff, I work with people around the world, and this is where we do it. This is the beautiful platform. I've also met so many amazing people, like meeting yourself today, which is such an honor and such a pleasure. Oh my goodness. I've met people from around the world. I don't know if you've seen, but we've got a Christmas song out right now called Christmas in the North.
Right.
And that came from a relationship that I started with a radio station in New Zealand.
Oh.
And they started playing The Mighty One. And then they introduced me to this group from Norway called Viking Queen. And we ended up getting together every Friday night, having a few drinks, having a glass of wine, having some beers. And then out of that came like, let's do a Christmas song. Nice. And so that's what this Christmas song is, Christmas in the North, is that gift that was given from us, getting together on Zoom and creating these relationships. Honestly, like I keep saying all the time to everybody, COVID has been the greatest. I mean, it's a tough thing, and it's a tough health thing, and it's a tough mental thing for a lot of folks. But for me, it's been the greatest gift. It really has. Yeah,
I'm with you right there. I'm not good socially, so for me, this is perfect. Now, also, where was I now? What is Riggett Services?
Oh, so Riggett Services is a company here in Vancouver, and they do all of the shows at Rogers Arena.
Oh, okay.
Do all the production for those. So I'm involved there. Everything from lighting and sound and working the stage and all of that stuff, and cameras and getting up in the spotlight up above the band, things like that. So that's what I do. I mean, I love show business. I love being on stage. So whether I'm on the stage or whether I'm supporting the stage, it doesn't matter. I'm in show business and I love it.
Yes, I hear you there. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with all of that too. Like I say, even though I'm socially inept, I love being on stage or in front of the camera stuff. It's two separate worlds, right?
Yes, totally.
And as long as I have something to do, I can be anywhere. Give me a job or an assignment.
Exactly.
Sorry, I keep putting myself in there and I shouldn't be doing this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I want to hear about you too.
Well, this is supposed to be about you. You're a sound healer at BEAR.
Yeah, so BEAR is a band that I started with my friend Tilo Many Bears, and he's also a German guy like me, but he really loves the indigenous cultures, the Canadian indigenous culture, and we did a project together where we supported our friends up in Bella Coola to end the trophy hunting of grizzly bears.
Oh,
The
nice.
bear part comes from, but bear is actually an acronym for back to it, or back to adventure. Hang on a second. I'm losing it right now.
I do it all the time.
That's okay. So anyways, it's about the bears, right?
Yes.
And so and so we created this whole album, and we ended up launching this group called Bear. Now, the other thing that Tilo and I both have in common is we developed this sound healing technique where we use NASA's Sounds of the Planet. So there's actual recordings of all of the planets from NASA that are available publicly. And we use that, and then we put beautiful nature sounds on top. And we have some live instruments. Tilo plays a lot of native instruments,
Right.
and people come and they lay on a blanket and a pillow on their mat, and they just go off on this beautiful journey of self-discovery.
Right.
Oh, it's it's a really beautiful thing. I mean, as we know, there's a lot of work being done with with hallucinogenic drugs and things like that these days, and I just feel that we have that mechanism inside of ourselves that we can use sound and frequency to release those things naturally. We don't have to take an external substance to have that. So this is really what these journeys are. They're like a medicine journey, a personal medicine journey.
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy. In a way, it's so easy to get high on life.
It is. It's the best high.
Yeah.
It's the best. And you know what? We all have our own special brand up here. So we just need things to release that, and these sound healing journeys are what do that.
So cool. You're also the CEO and president at 26-8 Music Publishing Inc.
So yeah, that's my company. That's so I have a publishing company, obviously, that I release all of the Mighty One stuff and the Bear stuff, and some other artists also. But that's the business entity of the Mighty One.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's just so wonderful. I like the fact that you studied your communication skill at the School of Hard Knocks.
That's the one. That's
what
early, still going.
Well, I just think it's, we can learn so much from books, right?
Yes.
But it's life that teaches us the real lessons.
That's true. It is so true. It's the real, that's where the real work takes place. And, I always say, even to my students, I say, the biggest challenges that you have in your life are the greatest gifts, because that's where the real learning takes place.
Yeah.
And I've had some interesting challenges, from, losing multi-million-dollar record deals, and, and I learned something from every single thing that takes place, right? Yeah. Especially those relationships, like a divorce or anything like that. Yeah. Some people let it sort of sink them, and, they never really get over it.
Yeah.
But I just feel that those things, if you can find a way to be grateful for them and see, okay, well, what was the lesson inside of that really tough thing that happened to me?
Right.
Then we just continue to blossom. We continue to grow.
For sure. Oh my gosh, for sure. I'm just wondering if I failed to mention anything here. Like, I know you're a singer, a song, and a guitarist for the Mighty Ones, right?
Correct.
Now I'm just looking through here. Oh, here's a question. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best way?
The best way to get a hold of me, I'm very, very active on social media. So if that Facebook page that you're reading all those things off of is a great place to message me. Perfect. There it is. There it is. And if you're not a Facebook person or whatever, then Tim Steinruck at gmail.com. I always answer. I'm very, very available there also. Okay,
I'll make sure I include that. So what's coming up for you, right? Like, say, in the next month or so, anything interesting coming up?
Well, I mean, definitely this Father Christmas thing is all encompassing at the moment. Yeah. And teaching at the school. I got a few classes that are going to be in the graduation mode shortly. So that's kind of my main focus, but also right now, really deep into the pre-production for the next record for the Mighty One. Right. Follow up the Torch of Rock and Roll, which we're hoping to do by the end of next year. Okay. And then also this Rise Up TV tour. I'm sure that you're aware of Big Records, who we're signed with, and Mark Rosner. And so, I went out on an Alberta tour a few weeks ago, or a month ago, I guess it was now, and which was very, very successful, and I'm a host on that show, and I'm also a performer on that show, and really helping with the production. I'm part of the production team. So we've got another one of those coming up. We were actually supposed to do it a couple of weeks ago over to Vancouver Island, but because of all the flooding that was taking place, it just wasn't the right time. There's fuel shortages, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're going to do that in February now. And it's going to be a really beautiful tour with like 6 or 7 other artists from around the world. And we're going to go out and we're going to not only entertain and not only make a TV show, but we're also going to be raising funds for flood relief here in BC.
Very nice. Well,
Canadian Red Cross. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, on that note, I'm just going to say goodbye to the audience. Okay.
All right.
Thank you all for watching. And listen, I'm going to include Tim's email address if you want to get a hold of him, or check him out on Facebook. And thank you all for watching, and stay tuned, and peace out, everybody.
Thanks.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.